Folks, I'm speaking with right guard Robert Garcia. First off, I like that shirt.
Appreciate it.
I was about 19 years old. What was it? Yeah, I was about 19
20,
years.
no, 21, 21.
Yeah, me. I was like 19 years old when that game, when that they won the national championship. I like that shirt. But anyway,
Yeah,
this ain't about that. This is about Robert
yeah.
Garcia. Robert, your first year up here at Valley College didn't really go the way you really expected it to be, but you did the best. You did the best you could. Tell me about your resolve this year.
Yeah, I mean, coming from the schools that I came from, I came from Ventura. It was a different landscape of a team. Just coming from such a you know what they say a powerhouse of a team, and then driving from that distance every day. Ultimately I had to just come to a conclusion of I gotta do what's best for me and what's better for my future. And it's like I was like, I gotta come back home. I gotta come back home. And I'm a Valley kid. I'm from the Valley. I'm always gonna rep the 818. Always. I talked to Towns, and he always seemed like a good dude. He's been recruiting me since I was a junior in high school.
Oh, at
In high
Chatsworth?
school, yep,
Yeah.
yes sir, yes sir.
Yeah.
He's always been recruiting me. I was here. I was here during the game. I was here during the game against Moore Park when y'all played against them. And it's like I remember this was the first school that ever reached out to me. So it always had always a special place in my heart, and it was kind of like a full circle moment for me. Coming back here, and getting to be back home. Learn from the coaches. I just love the coaches. Here I love Rome. He's a hell of a coach. I can't say nothing but nice things about that man.
Yes, sir.
Same with Towns. Hell of a coach right there. He knows the ball, knows about the ball. In the game. In and out, and it didn't go the way that we wanted. But in my eyes, I think I came here with a veteran presence. Knowing that I've been already here at the JUCO level before. I've seen the 4-year level ball play, and it's just my expectations here was to be a leader for the younger guys, especially the O line, coming from an O line aspect, just because they're younger. They're all freshmen. They're all just out of high school. With the regards of Leo, who was here last year, but like other than that, all of them are all freshmen. 17, 18. So me coming in, already been in the system of JUCO football. It was an honor, because there was a high expectation of me. The only thing is just sadly I just wasn't here sooner. I came really the very last week of summer. I don't even really count that. I was really here in the fall, but unfortunately, I suffered an injury, which kind of limited me in fall camp. But play through everything, just play through the whole season and do what I can. And I think I had a hell of a season. I think I think I did what I can, and help lead these guys, and I got to learn a lot of things, from a leadership aspect, but also just growing. You're gonna learn things as you keep going, playing the game. No matter how old you are, when you start or when you finish it, every year you're gonna learn something. Whether it's your last or your first year playing this game, that we all love.
Yes, sir.
So I think that was just the biggest thing for me. I got to learn a lot of things, especially from Coach Mike. Then bringing in Coach Mike, who honestly he was a good way to help mold the offensive line too. He helped us all click and everything, and I can't complain with the coaching staff that I had. The support, even Coach Nelson. Coach Nelson been knowing me since the Ventura days because he used to be a coach out there. So I mean I think just on that aspect of the team, like how the season went. I know there's a lot of guys on this. There's a lot of dogs on this team, and I know there's a lot of dudes who who are gonna get out and they're gonna go make big things. And I just can't wait to see it. And I was just grateful to be on the field with them anytime possible. And all the young guys that are gonna come back next year, I know they're gonna ball. I know they're gonna ball. And something that Rome always said, weekend, day out, day in, is every freshman team that he had, the next year is a bowl season. And I can see that honestly, because coming from being in different teams, I feel like these young guys, they really got what it takes next season, and I can't wait to see their development.
Robert, are you like that? Begs my next question. Question two: Are you coming back next year with injuries notwithstanding? Because I know you got a lot going on with injuries.
Yeah. So I dealt with a lot of injuries this season, and it was hard because, prior to my coming here to LA Valley, at my time at Ventura, I had, season-ending injuries, and that, it kind of hit me hard because, the process of going through the whole rehabilitation, and just getting back to what you were or better, it mentally took a toll on me. And I saw that person in me, and once I got that big injury to my elbow, because I had torn my UCL.
Oh yeah.
In fall camp, which sadly it happened, and a lot of the trainers and even the team doctors were just like, maybe you should take 3-4 games off, and I was just, I can't. I know this is like my year. I know this has to be my year. This is why I came here. This is why I came back home. And all I needed was just the film. I had the grades. I got the size. The biggest thing that I just needed, a part of my journey to the next level, was just the film.
Okay.
And that's why I came here too, do it. And I was just like, you know what? I just gotta push through it. And it was one of the biggest mental things that I had to go through. And granted that I still have injuries, after this season to heal up and just rest from, in both of my knees and also in my foot. I took a beating, but I think the best thing for me going forward is, pursuing my education and this and football at the 4-year level. Granted that I only got 2 more years at the, Division I level, NCAA clockwise to play. So, and I think I have the caliber to play at that level. I got the grades for it. I definitely got the size, and I got the aggression for it and the strength. So, I'm just waiting for the opportunity to come. I have coaches, reaching out. I have schools, following me, looking at me. I'm just waiting for the first one to come, and then, take it from there. And it's all up to the man upstairs,
Question 3: Who on this offensive line would you say, like this year that you've been here, who on this offensive line have you been close to on and off the field?
Man, they all my guys. And it was hard because it's just like, I had a lot of guys at Ventura, and I didn't, me being me, I knew that I was gonna make friends and everything, but like there was just a thought behind my head coming here. I was just like, man, what about if I don't, find that group again? But I think after I came here and I just got to know the guys just from the jump, I was just like, yeah, this is gonna be a fun season. And I think all of them, from Ale to Seven to Leo to Blanco to Ramsey, even Dinesta. Those are all my guys right there. But if I really had to pinpoint one who I really think is like my became like a real brother to me, it has to be Ramsey.
Okay.
And it was like, and everybody was excited, when they had us on the right side. Like everybody was like looking forward to it because like they know it was gonna be a show. They know it was gonna be a show, and it always was a show. You could ask him, and it's just like. And I knew that we were gonna be close just because like I would always take him home, and because like nobody really lives in his area, so it's just like I'm the one that lives necessarily in his area who has a car. So I was kind of stuck with it, but I'm glad I got to take the big brother aspect with him, and he's my guy, and he's gonna do good things, man. He's gonna be big, and nothing but the best for him, and the rest of them, all of them are gonna be do something with their life, and I can't wait to see it.
Question 4: What is Robert Garcia going to do in this offseason to prepare for the 2026 season, whether you're here or at a 4-year college?
Yes, sir. So I think the biggest thing for me is obviously treat these injuries. 2 out of 3 of my injuries that I'm going through right now, they're injuries that are healed within rest. Just resting. And my body's been through a lot. Just constant. On the go. Like. Man, I remember I had the talk with Towns just recently. The exit meeting, he was just like, let me just get all that juice out of you, man. Like I'm trying to get everything out of you, man, everything I can. And I don't blame him. I needed it too, and that's why I told him. I said, Coach, I don't care what happens to me. I'm gonna put my body on the line because I need it. I need the season. I need the film. I need everything. I need the pancakes. I need those pulls. I need everything. I just need the film, and I know. It wouldn't look good me trying to be a leader from the sidelines. So it's just like, that's what I tried doing. And I think I did it pretty well. And, moving on, I think the best thing for me is, another thing that probably portrayed to my injuries and everything is just like I'm a big dude. I think the biggest thing for me is getting back to what my strength once was, because I still am a very strong dude. Don't get it twisted now.
I could tell.
I'm still a very, very strong dude, and I can still put up that weight up there. But I think I think my biggest thing is getting back to that strength. Working on my technique. I still want to come here during the winter and possibly in the beginning of spring, if possible, depending on my situation and my recruitment and everything. And just tap in more with Coach Rome and Coach Mike. They know what they're talking about, and just get better with my technique. Get faster. I think I'm gonna also cut some weight too, just because I know at the university level they're gonna be on the go. It's a different pace. And I've been there before, so I think it's just I think that's the biggest thing is just technique. Like cut some weight a little bit. And focus on my injuries. Get healthy, and just keep working. Keep working. Staying on my grades too. Not that that's an issue. I've always been a good student, but just keep working in every aspect.
Yes, sir. And last question and statement for you. You started today's game at right guard.
Yes, sir.
How would you assess yourself, and how would you assess COD's defensive line?
Man, okay, so yeah, I watched film on those guys, and they looked like they were the way that they ran their defensive line. They ran in the odd front, usually in the 3-3 stack, which they honestly didn't do that much during the game. They came out with four man down. So I was just like, oh, okay, this isn't nothing new. We've seen this all season. We've seen four man down, but I know that they had a lot of more speed like guys. Just because they're lighter on their feet. A lot of their starting nose guard was like 245, 250. So their ends were around the same size, if not a little bit less. So I knew that they were just going to be more. You just had to catch them.
Yeah.
You just had to catch them off their speed, catch them off balance. I know that they were a decent D line that we played against. I know they had one big boy. They had 9'9", who was a bit.
DeAndre Ferguson. Yeah.
He was good, but I think just from my aspect, I think I had a game. I in my head I was just like, this is my last game. Got to go all out. Got to go all out. Not saying I don't do that every game, but I got me. I always got to get it. I got to get one or two pancakes every game. So, but me today, I think I had 3 or 4 pancakes, and it started getting real chippy in the beginning of the game, the first half, between me and some of the D linemen. But that's just the way of the game. That's just the way of the game. But I think we're a good D line. I think our O line was able to contain them very well. I think the O line had a really good game too. Not only speaking for myself, but as a group, I think we did really well. And had proper preparation for them. Just like that saying, proper preparation prevents poor performance. So I think we did real good. I think I did real good. And sadly, the game didn't go in our way. But I think what the coaches saw was improvement. And I think that's the biggest thing moving forward, into the next chapter of this program is great.
All right, Phil, I don't want your food to get cold, so I'm glad.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
I love talking to you, Robert, but I don't want your food to get cold. And you worked your butt off today, and you deserve a good meal. What's in there? So, thank you for everything you've done, Robert. Wherever you go,
thank you.
Yes, sir. Wherever you go in 2026, I wish you the best. I hope you come back here, but it's up to you, and you got to do what's best for Robert Garcia.
Yes, sir.
But thank you, and like I said, don't forget that food.
Oh no, I won't. You know me. I won't. Big boys got to eat. Big boys got to eat. You know me.
All right. Thank you, RG, and go Monarchs.
All right, go Monarchs. Let's go.
Yes, sir.